Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this: a vast, formless void, darkness stretching infinitely in every direction. Then, suddenly, a voice cuts through the silence, a voice so powerful that it speaks light into existence.
Let there be light.
It says, and in an instant, everything changes. This isn't just the beginning of a story, it's the beginning of everything. Welcome to the book of Genesis, the foundation of creation, humanity, and faith. In today's journey, we'll explore some of the most iconic stories ever told. From the awe-inspiring act of creation to the tragic fall of humanity, from the destruction of the flood to the promise of restoration, Genesis lays the groundwork for understanding who we are and why we're here. These ancient tales aren't just history or myth. They're mirrors reflecting our deepest hopes, fears, and questions about life. So let's step back in time, to the dawn of days, and uncover what Genesis reveals about God, humanity, and the world we inhabit. Together, we'll walk through gardens, ride out floods, wrestle with angels, and dream impossible dreams. Are you ready?
What if I told you that the universe began not with a bang, but with poetry? That's exactly how Genesis describes it, a divine symphony where each note brings forth something new and beautiful. The first chapter of Genesis paints a breathtaking picture of creation. Day by day, God calls forth light, separates waters, forms dry land, fills the sky with birds, the seas with fish, and the earth with animals. Finally, on the sixth day, God creates humanity, male and female, in His own image. Imagine being there, witnessing the moment when Adam takes his first breath, standing in a garden filled with every tree pleasant to the sight and good for food. But notice something profound here. Unlike the rest of creation, humans are made in God's image. We're given dominion over the earth, entrusted with its care. Yet, even as God declares all He has made every good, there's already a shadow looming, a choice waiting to be made.
Why does Genesis start with such beauty and perfection? Perhaps because it sets the stage for everything that follows. It reminds us of what could have been and what can still be if we align ourselves with the Creator's intentions. Have you ever wondered why bad things happen? Why pain, suffering, and brokenness seem woven into the fabric of existence? Well, according to Genesis, it all started with a single bite.
In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve live in perfect harmony with God and nature. But then comes the serpent, a crafty creature who plants doubt in Eve's mind. Did God really say you mustn't eat from any tree? He asks. One question leads to another, and soon curiosity turns to disobedience. They eat the forbidden fruit, and in that moment, paradise is shattered. Suddenly their eyes are opened, not to wisdom as they'd hoped, but to shame and fear. For the first time, they hide from God. And when He confronts them, the blame game begins. Adam blames Eve, Eve blames the serpent, and sin enters the world like a crack spreading across glass.
It's easy to judge Adam and Eve, isn't it? But think about it. Haven't we all made choices we regret? Haven't we all sought shortcuts only to find ourselves further from where we wanted to be? The fall isn't just their story, it's ours too. Imagine building a massive boat in the middle of nowhere while everyone laughs at you. That's exactly what Noah did, and his obedience saved humanity from utter destruction.
By the time we meet Noah, the world has descended into chaos. Violence and corruption reign supreme, and God decides to wipe the slate clean with a flood. Yet, amid the darkness, Noah finds favor in God's eyes. He's instructed to build an ark, a floating sanctuary for his family and pairs of every animal. When the rains come, they don't stop for 40 days and nights. The earth is submerged, and only those aboard the ark survive. After the waters recede, God makes a covenant with Noah, sealing his promise never to destroy the earth again with a flood. As a sign of this covenant, he places a rainbow in the sky.
Noah's story teaches us two important truths. Justice and mercy go hand in hand. God punishes wrongdoing, yes, but he also offers second chances. Every time we see a rainbow, we're reminded that no matter how dark things get, hope remains. What would you do if God asked you to leave everything behind, your home, your comfort zone, and follow him into the unknown? That's precisely what Abraham did, and his leap of faith changed the course of history.
Abram, later renamed Abraham, is 75 years old when God calls him to leave his homeland and journey to a land he will show him. In return, God promises to make him the father of a great nation, bless him abundantly, and use him to bless the entire world. At first glance, this seems impossible. Abraham and his wife Sarah are childless and advanced in age. Yet, despite moments of doubt and testing, including the infamous incident with Hagar and Ishmael, God fulfills his promise. Isaac is born, and through him, the lineage of Israel begins.
Abraham's story challenges us to trust God, even when his plans defy logic. It reminds us that faith isn't about seeing the whole staircase. It's about taking the first step. Ever felt like life keeps throwing curveballs your way? Meet Jacob and Joseph, two men whose lives were anything but predictable, yet whose struggles ultimately shaped a nation.
Jacob is the trickster who steals his brother Esau's birthright and flees for his life. On the run, he encounters God in a dream and wrestles with him, literally and figuratively. By the time he returns home, he's transformed from Jacob, the deceiver, to Israel, the one who strives with God. Fast forward to Joseph, Jacob's favorite son. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned, Joseph endures unimaginable hardships. Yet, through it all, he remains faithful, eventually rising to become second in command in Egypt. When famine strikes, Joseph's position allows him to save not only Egypt, but also his estranged family.
These stories remind us that God often works through messy, flawed people and messy, flawed circumstances. Jacob's transformation and Joseph's rise to power show us that even in our lowest moments, God can turn ashes into beauty.
As we wrap up our journey through Genesis, let's reflect on what we've learned. We've seen the splendor of creation, the tragedy of the fall, the judgment and mercy of the flood, the faithfulness of Abraham, and the resilience of Jacob and Joseph. Through it all, one truth stands out. God's promises endure no matter what.
Genesis doesn't just tell us where we came from, it points us toward where we're going. It invites us to reconnect with our Creator, to trust in His plan, and to believe that even in a broken world, redemption is possible. So, the next time you look at a sunset, hold a newborn baby, or gaze at the stars, remember this: you're part of a story much bigger than yourself, a story written by the author of life itself.
If you loved diving into the powerful stories of Genesis, you won't want to miss what's next. The book of Exodus takes everything to another level. Miracles, plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, and God shaping a nation. But here's the deal. We need you. Subscribe now and drop a comment below if you want us to release the next video on Exodus. Let's continue this incredible journey together.